Welcome back to the Math Tutors 101. I'm Alan, and today we are starting the second episode of Algebra 2, New Landmark. So far, we have learned equations and expressions. Today we're going to be learning about absolute value. In Algebra 1, you've probably learned a lot about variables. If you haven't, I'll leave a link down below. And we've been learning about how we can manipulate them. Today, we're going to be learning a symbol that manipulates it for us. Well, not for us, but it manipulates it in a way that changes the equation. So first of all, let's figure out what is absolute value. If you break it down, absolute value is symbolized with these straight brackets. So you can put x here, 9 here, -5, any kind of number, any real number. But what these absolute values do, they make any expression or equation positive. I'm putting air quotation marks. Positive. So what I mean, if I have 9, if I take out my super awesome nice number line, very nice. I think I can make it better than that. Come on. It's the second day of algebra. We gotta get a little better. There we go. So we take our super duper number line and we get 0. Let's say we get 9 on the number line. Basically, absolute value says how far is the number from 0. So then you're like, isn't distance always positive? Exactly. Distance is always positive. 9 units. You can't say -9 units. That would make no sense because you can't go negative. You can go backwards on a track, but you're still going distance. So if you have a track, let me have an attempt of an Olympic track. Oh well. If you're running this way, and you stop here, that's, let's say, 5 kilometers. If you run backwards on the track, and you go here, that's still 5 kilometers. There should be some moment of realization there. Even if you're going backwards, forwards, sideways, you have a distance that you have traveled. So what absolute value does, it just gives the positive distance in units. So let's get some examples of that. Let me erase all this. Let's erase all that. And go back to a pencil. So let's get some examples of that. Let's start off with some expressions like in the last video. Let's say -3/2. Let's do positive for now. Absolute value. Well, the distance of 3/2 from 0 is 3/2. So this would be equal to 3/2. If we take -7, absolute value of that. So now here's where people sometimes get messed up. If we go to the number line, the awesome number line, go from 0, and we go to -7. Remember where that 0 comes in play? That's the distance from 0. Backwards, forwards, sideways, that's still 7 units. Any kind of units. Meters, kilometers, feet. So that's 7 units from 0. If we take that, we would get 7. An easier way to think about it, absolute value makes everything positive. If you look at its graph, if you graph the absolute value of x on my super duper graph, it looks kind of like a V. It's basically, x is a linear equation, but since it doesn't go negative, it just becomes positive, all the y values, that's what the absolute value does. So let's get rid of that. Now let's try out some expressions. Technically, these are equations, as these are the equal sign, but that's just for demonstration purposes as simplification. Let's erase all this. Now let's assume we have an equation. Absolute value of x minus 3 equals 9. So this is an equation. Let's solve it. We add 3 to both sides. Since there's a negative right here, we cancel out with positive. Plus 3. Can only do it to both sides. These cancel out. We get absolute value of x equals 12. So x can actually equal two answers. Remember, these absolute value signs is the units. So that means x can equal 12. 12 units from 0. Remember, if we draw our number line, here we go. If that's 12 units, remember, you can go 12 units backwards, and that's still 12 units. So that means negative 12 would also work. And negative 12. And if we had a z, like a y and z axis, we would have many more answers. But we're not going to deal with 3 dimensions for now. That's a much harder topic. But if we stick with x is 12 and negative 12, as those are both 12 units. That's what the question's asking us. So we just solve for x. You tend to get more than one answer. Like, you get introduced to more than one answer in an equation in Algebra 1. Sometimes in Algebra 2. But overall, absolute value is not really a difficult topic. So for after that, we're going to be solving inequalities next video. So the next video, we're going to be learning about greater than, less than. If you already learned it, you can solve for inequalities. Like and subscribe. Please share this video to others who have no clue what an absolute value is. And keep on learning.